How's it getting on anyway, before we start?
Yeah, really, really good. I mean, it was never going to be, I was really realistic from the start, and you were really realistic from the start. But yeah, there's just such a massive difference in everything, basically.
Okay,
And
right.
yeah,
We'll start with what's your name and where are you from?
so my name's Joe, and I'm from Bristol.
Great. And where was your child before we started working together? So in terms of that, their grades, their academic skills, but also their confidence, self-esteem.
My son was told, well, I've been told that he was bottom of the class in terms of reading and writing, and that has been consistent from reception, year one, and he's currently in year two. Academically, that's where he was. He had a lot of anxiety as well, lots of separation anxiety, school gate separation anxiety. Came home quite upset because he didn't understand the task that he was supposed to do. Absolutely did not want to try and read at home with me at all. So I basically didn't read with him for reception in year one because it was just too traumatic for him and for me. So yeah, I couldn't do it at all. But he is a really curious and interested child, and he loves learning, but the system as it is didn't really match the way that he liked to learn.
Yeah. So interesting. So many parents say that to me, like on a call, they're like, oh, they're like really bright or they're really keen and they love learning. And I'm like, it's just, yeah, no doubt. So okay. And what specific problems or challenges were you looking to get help with? Obviously, you've answered this a bit already, but if you could give me a bit more detail about his reading specifically.
Yeah, so his reading, he was technically about 2 years behind, and basic words like cat, he couldn't blend them, he had to segment them. So even reading a really, really, really basic book, and he's in year two, was a real struggle. So yeah, and the same with writing as well, obviously, and maths. I don't know whether his maths issues were linked to not being able to read the questions, but it led into having problems with maths as well.
Yeah. And what made you reach out to me, or why did you choose us over other teachers or programs?
I don't know why you popped up on my Instagram thread, but I was probably following Reading Recovery because that's what I was interested in that program because one of my other sons had it a long, long time ago. And then you came up, and what you said resonated with me to do with what learning could look like and how it's not necessarily the way that we think it is. And you messaged me. You're the only person who directly messaged me on Instagram. So it was a real surprise because that's never happened before. And I really liked it, but then I sort of took a step back and thought, oh my gosh, who is this person messaging me? But you showed a real sort of personal interest as well. And so it sat with me for a while. And then I thought, oh no, I'm going to follow this person and her company up actually, because she's the only person that took the effort to do that.
Yeah, and I think that makes a big difference. And I do genuinely care. And I think a lot of people think the messages are automated. And I do have automated messages running, like, but it's always quite clear that they're automated, if that makes sense. Whereas the ones where it's like new followers, new people, we always DM them to say, hi, what brought you to our page? I do think it makes a difference. I think it makes a difference to me as well because I feel like I'm connecting to the people that are following us and want our help and all of those sorts of things. So, yeah. Okay. And was there anything that almost stopped you from signing up? So, fears, financial concerns, lack of time, doubts about the program?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a financial commitment, but from my perspective, it's worth it. Time commitment was up there, a massive one, because I knew when you said that my son needed the more intensive program, which was 3 times a week. And, we've really tried to compensate for the struggles that he's had in school. And so he does a lot of activities that he wants to do. And so they were really, really important for him as well.
Yeah,
So we had to juggle, and actually we ditched something because we realized the importance of this. And also, yes, it's tiring, obviously, but I've got to say he has got used to the extra sort of concentration, and his sort of capacity for thinking and using his brain after school has actually increased. He's using it
it's
more. So,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. And you're so right about wanting to keep it's that getting that balance, isn't it? And again, so many parents say that to me. They're like, well, they're not enjoying school or reading and writing, so I want to make sure that they can do all the things that they do sort of excel at and enjoy, but it's trying to get that balance.
Yeah,
I think it
exactly.
helps that the sessions are short, right?
Anything beyond 30 minutes wouldn't be. You can see how 30 minutes is just a perfect time.
Yeah, you've probably already answered this, but what ultimately made you say yes and move forward?
I think it was, well, yeah, obviously you messaged me and I sat with it for a
Yeah,
while and then I talked to you and that made me sort of even more convinced because you were realistic about it. And then I understood what the financial commitment was because before I didn't know what exactly that was. So then I could sort of
yeah,
digest that and think, okay, is this feasible? And then I was working out the time commitment as well. So all these things have to be factored in, don't they? But yeah, the
yeah.
one-to-one meeting was useful with all of those additional details, which I needed to make that decision. And I thought, well, why not have a trial? And then the trial itself was the final sort of point for me because I could see how it worked. I sat alongside my son to the side of him, and the report I had from one of the tutors wasn't like anything that I'd had before. So I was really impressed with that report.
Elizabeth's like trial the assessment after the trial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, good.
It was really thoughtful. It was clear that she knew what she was doing. It was tailored, and she got to know my son in that short period of time. So all of those things, I thought, yes, let's go with this.
Elizabeth's great, isn't she? Trying to get her to do more people, but she's like, no. And what have been your biggest takeaways or aha moments so far?
Well, number one for me, it's trust your instinct. So my instinct was that my son needed bespoke one-to-one to fill the gaps. That's always been my instinct, but then sometimes you're told he's going to catch up. You know, it will happen eventually. But during the first few weeks of the sessions, I realized that was never going to happen in the school system that he's in because he was already so far behind that the intensity that's needed to bring him anywhere near to speed, that, you know, schools just can't provide those resources right now. So trust my instinct, which is what I always thought, but I moved away from it a lot because of different opinions. Secondly, just some practical things like I learned as a parent what a pure sound was.
Yeah,
So me reading alongside my son, I wasn't helping him because I was not saying the sounds as they should be said.
yeah.
And I think for me, as a parent, that's really important. It would be nice if schools actually did that because that would be really useful because reading, just reading alone is kind of pointless sometimes, isn't it? Unless you're reading with a knowledge and sort of bit of purpose. And yeah, so I think that was another moment.
How that sort of targeted support, how much progress it helps them to make rather than that just keep reading, which is what I'm always peddling on my Instagram page is like, just keep reading isn't a strategy for someone who's finding it really difficult. Yes, it's good for someone who needs the extra practice, very nearly there, or is like a regular reader, but someone who needs to catch up, it's not going to help them. It's not just going to suddenly go, oh, I get it now.
Yeah,
But that's the advice that's just being given out left, right, and centre. And it's really interesting that you should say it changed quite a few people change your opinion because I've had two calls last week with parents whose children are extremely behind. They've gone back to school to say, we've thought about this program, and school have said, no, like they're not that bad, just give it time. And I just can't believe I'm gobsmacked by it. It's really hard from my perspective because I'm selling a product, right? So I'm not in school anymore. If I was in school anymore, people might want to listen more to what I had to say because I'm not benefiting from it financially. It's really hard to say to someone, please don't listen to them.
I know
Please
exactly.
get them help with sound.
What does that mean? Like, you
No.
know, this unquantifiable, isn't it? And I mean, this works really well alongside school. It hasn't conflicted at all, anything. It's just benefited. So yeah. But yeah, it's got to be hard when you are selling a product,
Yeah.
but selling a
Yeah. You
service.
just have to let it go. I just have to let it go. I have to just say, okay. But yeah, inside I want to be like, no, come back, please. So yeah, sad. What notable changes or improvements have you seen in your child since we started?
Okay, well, there's a lot. So, firstly, within the first few weeks of starting the 12-week program, he wanted to play top trumps with me. And it might sound like something really minor, but he's never wanted to do that before because he couldn't understand the top trumps or the numbers or what they meant or any of the words. So he actively came to me and wanted to do it because me personally, I'm obsessed with books. I've got hundreds and hundreds of books, and I've always wanted my child to really like reading. So I've got
Yeah.
all the resources
Really,
and
I'm just going to
everything.
shut my door. 2 sec.
No worries.
My dog's going mad.
My
I don't know
dogs
if
are
you
here
can
as
hear it.
well.
That's knocked on the door. Great timing. Sorry, carry on. Go
So
on.
I've got all the resources just ready and waiting for him, all like different activities and fun things. So that's one thing I've seen. Another thing, he is writing me notes. So
Hey, that's so lovely.
it's really sweet. And no, the spelling's not perfect, but that's not the point of it.
No,
And that's what
no.
I also learned from Elizabeth as well. Even though I thought I was doing it right, I probably wasn't doing it right. I was trying to correct him a lot. And actually, he needs to have confidence and praise. And I don't have to correct him for everything. He's actually really proud of himself for writing me a note. And that's a really good starting point. And he's doing it quite a lot, actually. He bought a magazine the other day and read some bobbles in a comic, which he's never ever done
Oh,
before.
this is so amazing, Joe. Honestly, like it's amazing.
The bubble was something like, "What am I supposed to do?" And it wasn't like a really, simple, sentence. And I just thought, well, that's incredible. He's moved up 3 reading levels in 14 weeks, which for him
Whoa,
is amazing because he was stuck where he was. So that's incredible. He's a
that's. Have school said anything to you? Sorry.
I am going to see his books because they said he is making some progress, but it's slow and steady. But I need to speak specifically to his person who helps him with reading and writing. So I haven't had the opportunity yet, put it that way. But I don't really need that because I can see myself.
Yeah,
What
definitely.
else has he done? He got a sticker yesterday for doing some working independently and writing something independently. And he's never had that before. They are saying he's working a bit more independently, actually. He's we can read together now, and I do my turn, your turn. We share the reading, and he quite likes that. And I learned that from Elizabeth as well. So it's not a real battle to get him to do it.
Yeah.
There's loads of things. He goes in to school a lot easier now.
Oh,
So
that's so
less
nice.
tears, less anxiety, less kisses and cuddles. And kisses and cuddles are lovely, but for the right reason. If they're really anxious and don't want to leave you, then that's not an
No,
amazing.
it's all,
So
that's
many,
amazing. I think, yeah, honestly, it's amazing. My daughter does the same program,
yeah,
the Radiant Fluency Formula, and the things that you've just highlighted are exactly the same things she started doing. So she started writing me notes, she started reading magazines, all of those sorts of things, and it's so nice.
yeah.
I think you've answered this already, but the next question is what internal or mindset shifts have you experienced as a parent since we started working together? So obviously you've said like, you've learned the pure sounds, you've learned not to correct all the time, to do the my turn, your turn, different strategies, less stress. Is there anything else that you think you've sort of shifted on massively?
I think that's about it, really. I think the variation of strategies as well. Elizabeth shares word walls and really useful reading books that are focused on the phonics, which I thought were really the Dandelion Reader. But
Yeah,
I didn't ever really read the school books anyway because he wasn't really interested in them. So
yeah,
I didn't really do. If he was interested in them, I'd read them with him. I do it sporadically, but yeah, it's just using a variation of stuff. Not just you can read anything, can't you?
yeah, it's great. Like you
Yeah,
say, it's that like targeting, it's the variation, it's the different strategies, it's the confidence. Confidence is so huge.
yeah, it is.
That's like the turning point, isn't it? So,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. And I
Okay.
mean, thankfully, he's got such good self-esteem that he's never realised where he is which is I'm really sort of grateful for that, even though it had other impacts like anxiety. So yeah, just keeping on with that confidence and yeah, he's a funny character. Don't know whether Elizabeth has told you about any of their conversations, honestly.
No, no, I know that she loves working with him, but I don't know about the specifics.
But
Funny characters are always the best ones to teach, right? So,
yeah,
honestly, and
I
I'm
never
not just saying that.
come out with, but anyway,
How would you describe your overall experience and your child's experience?
on a scale of something or other, or just well,
So, like, firstly, how would you describe it?
I'm
And you can give a
okay.
scale of 1 to 10 as well.
Well, I can't fault it, and I'm not a critical person, but I do critically analyze things, and I know when something's really good and when something's not really good, and so I literally can't fault this at all in any way.